Well, howdy friends, Brian Flechsig and Mad River Outfitters of the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, and welcome back to yet another one of our Q&A series. As always friends, we appreciate the questions. We literally are getting hundreds per week, and we're getting to them as soon as we can. I promise we'll do our best to get to them all. Some of them, just so you know, we might answer via email. If we think you need immediate help, we're going to respond right there via email. But we'll still put you in the hopper and put you in the running. And remember that if we do film it here for the YouTube channel, we'll send you the hat and the free fly box. So let's jump right in today. A gentleman by the name of C. Gonzo, letter C, Gonzo, from Kearns, Utah. C. Gonzo says, so I work in road construction, which means I go balls to the wall. Sorry about that. I work a lot around the best time for fly fishing, fall. I try to sneak in some time fishing when I can, but winter is when I have a lot of free time to hook into some trout. So I want to know what is the best way to keep my guide loops from freezing over. I've tried WD-40 and cooking spray, but no dice home slice. Thank you. I don't think I've ever been called home slice before. That's awesome. And goes on with thanks. Well, C. Gonzo, that's really easy. Loon, our good friends over at Loon, they make a compound called Stanley's Ice Off Paste. We've been selling this for years and years and years, and it works. As you found out, the WD-40 and the cooking spray really don't do the job. Stanley's Ice Off Paste will. This stuff is kind of like chapstick or maybe butter. Anyways, you're going to put a little bit of this on your fingers and you rub it onto your guides, and you can even rub a little bit onto your fly line. Okay? It's biodegradable, it's environmentally friendly, all of that good stuff, and you will prevent ice from forming on your rod guides or on your line, and you'll be able to fish during the winter with no problems. Okay? So, C. Gonzo, we'll be sending out a hat and a fly box to Utah, and thank you, Home Slice. All right. I'm new to fly. This is Chad Scruggs. Chad is chiming in from Union Mills, North Carolina. And Chad says, I am new to fly fishing and I have noticed my fly line becoming twisted as I fish. I know my casting isn't great, but it is improving. What's the main cause of my line twisting? Is it something I'm doing wrong casting? Well, Chad, I don't think it's anything you're doing wrong casting. There's nothing really by the action of the fly cast itself that's going to cause a fly line to twist. There's really one of three things that could be happening. And my guess is, and don't take this the wrong way, but if it's an entry-level kind of outfit, quite frankly, the fly line is probably complete crap. I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. It's junk fly line. It's going to twist. Until you upgrade that line, that's probably going to happen. Now, a couple other things can cause a fly line to twist, and I have seen this before. And when you're stripping the line in, a lot of folks, and you kind of see I did it there, I see a lot of folks that rotate their hand when they strip in. I'm doing it a little more exaggerated right there, but you see when I do that, you see all these big twists right here. Whereas if you just pull completely straight and don't twist, you're not going to get as much of that, okay? So it can come from when you're stripping a streamer, popper, what have you. If you twist your hand ever so slightly, it's going to start to cause twists in that line, and eventually it'll all be twisted up around here. Make sure I'm sure you've seen some of my other videos where I talk about stretching your fly line on a regular basis. Almost all fly lines should be stretched on a regular basis, no matter how much they cost, no matter what they are. Stretch your fly lines on a regular basis and they're going to perform a lot better for you. Now, one other thing, if you're fishing from the shore, or worse yet, I see this a lot with folks that are fishing off of a boat. And you get a bunch of line laying down at your feet and you want to get it out of the way, and you take your foot and you push it out of the way. And what happens is when you take your foot and you roll that out of the way, you're literally rolling that line and you wind up twisting it. I see that a lot. I spend a lot of time fishing in saltwater and fishing pike, muskie, and carp around here out of boats. And I see clients do that all the time. They take their foot and they swipe that line out of the way and they wind up getting twists in their line. So again, it's either bad fly line, eventually you need to upgrade. In the meantime, stretch your line and hopefully that'll help you out. Otherwise, take a look at how you're stripping in and make sure you're not twisting your hand, you're not rotating your hand when you strip in, and never take your foot and push that line out of the way. That's for sure going to twist it. So there you go, Chad. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it as always. Brian Filas from Richmond, Virginia. Brian says, let me just say, you know you're getting old when you spend your Friday night binge watching videos on how to catch carp on a fly rod. Keep pumping out the great content. And then he goes on to say, I will be ordering some stuff from your shop soon to help support you guys. Well, Brian, thanks. We do need support, as do all local fly shops and independent small businesses. So thank you very much, but we're more than happy to do this, man. We have a lot of fun. I know it looks really like complete drudgery, but I do have fun doing this. He says, would you guys consider doing a video on tippet rings? I couldn't find any of your content that discusses them. Yeah, I haven't gotten to them yet because we're going to be doing a series called Knots and Leaders coming up. I also have the book, which is coming out this winter, called The End of the Line, and we'll talk quite a bit about that there. But I'll be happy to address this here. The answer is I do use tippet rings, but I use them in nymph leaders and nymph leaders only, okay? We sell a couple of brands here at the shop. We've got the Angler's Image tippet rings, and we have the Rio Tippet Rings. Just be honest with you, the Rio Tippet Rings are twice as expensive, but some people like the fact that it says Rio. In all fairness, Rio does make a heavy duty one for steelhead that we do sell a lot of as well. Both of them on our website. I do not ever want to use a tippet ring on a dry fly leader. First of all, it does create a little bit of a hinge, which I don't want, and then it tends to smack down on the water way more than I want for dry flies. Streamers, bass bugs, or what you might call contact fly fishing, you could, but there's really no need for it. I mean, when I'm bass fishing, I'm so rarely replacing my tippet. When I'm streamer fishing, I'm really rarely replacing tippet, and I just don't want that hinge out there at the end of the leader, especially when I'm trying to throw a bigger fly. Now on nymph leaders, absolutely. I attach the tippet ring and I use a clinch knot to attach that tippet ring at the end of the butt section, meaning the only thing I'm going to be tying onto that tippet ring is the tippet itself. Okay, coming up in the book and future episodes here, I'll show you some easy nymph leader formulas that are going to incorporate tippet rings, and that way you can easily just attach tippet to the front by using a clinch knot, and your butt section could be damn near permanent, last you a season or two for that matter, as long as you don't tie knots in it. Okay. Brian went on to say, that got me wondering, is it even better to undo the perfection loop and leader and attach it to the fly line using a nail knot, and then further down the leader add a tippet ring? Well, yes, I do agree with that, and again, more coming. That way you don't have to use a surgeon knot. Here we go. I guess the real question is, if I put it far enough down the tapered leader, can I still use any size tippet from the ring down? Yeah, and that's basically what I just said. Put that tippet ring at the end of your butt section, which is usually going to be somewhere around 7 foot long or so, and then you're just going to attach the tippet to the front. So yeah, you're barking up the right tree. Use it on nymphs and just add the tippet on the front. And yeah, it still creates a hinge, but we really don't mind hinging in a nymph leader. In fact, a good nymph leader really does need a hinge and you need it to flop around under the water. You just have to be very careful in your casting. You don't want to throw really tight loops with a leader that's going to hinge. So again, friends, and Brian, stay tuned. We've got more coming, and as soon as the book is published, I promise you we're going to send up smoke signals. We're going to do Morse code. We're going to do we're going to tweet, and we're going to face all of that stuff. So you'll know when the book comes out. Okay, Brian, we've got a hat and a fly box. I think I just heard it go out the back door on its way to Richmond, Virginia. Thank you. And last for today, John Norton from Kimberly, Alabama. And John, I should have you write a book. John says, hey guys, here's my fly rod story, but you can skip to the questions if you want. Great story, John. I did read it, but I will skip to the questions. Question number 1, is there any way of measuring a fly rod to find out the weight if you can't find any markings? Not really. Your best advice is to get it into the hands of a professional. If you have a fly shop that you can get to, take the rod in there. They're going to be able to put it together and wiggle it and give you at least a ballpark idea. Okay? If you don't have a fly shop to go to, call us. Maybe you can film something on your phone and send it to us here, and we can at least get you in the ballpark. Question number 2, I rarely go fly fishing, but I'm hoping to change that. Me too, John. Has rod technology changed a lot since 1980? Could I keep using this old thing, or would it be worth the money to upgrade to a current rod? Many answers there. First of all, I hope that you do get to fly fish more, John, because as we know, it's a lot of fun. Has fly rod technology changed a lot since 1980? Absolutely. It really has. In fact, fly rod technology has changed a lot in the past 4 or 5 years, and it keeps changing. That being said, can you keep using this old thing? Yes, you can. Here at Mad River Outfitters in the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, we want you to fish. We don't care how old your equipment, how expensive your equipment. If that's the rod you have, then take it out and go fishing and have fun. But the honest answer is, would it be worth the money to upgrade to a current rod? Absolutely. Stop in your local fly shop, cast something, really, and you don't have to spend a bunch of money like the industry tells you and that the industry wants you to. Cast even the inexpensive stuff, and you'll find that it is going to be better casting and a more comfortable, enjoyable experience than fishing that old thing. No question about that. But again, just so nobody yells at me, yeah, you can fish with that old thing, no problem. Thanks for all your help in getting me started. I've watched the Getting Started series and Carpin series, and I'm pumped, in capitals, or we call those slammers, to get out there and try it out more. So, John, I hope that helps. If you can't get your rod into a fly shop, let's communicate. Send us another email and see if we can't help figure it out, because it's very important that we get the right weight of fly line on there. That's going to make the biggest difference in anything on how that rod casts and how that rod performs. Okay, so there you go, another Q&A under our belts. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go to madriveroutfitters.com and buy lots of things so we can continue to afford to do this. Thanks for watching. See you soon. If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps out a lot. And check out these videos. We think you might like them too.